What's up, everybody? This is Sunko. Mm. Today is 2022 and January 7th. I did YouTube last night, and I'm doing YouTube 2 days in a row because I'm on fire. I'm just kidding. Because I felt like to. Today is Friday night, and I feel like I've got free time, so that's why I'm doing this. Today I'm going to do a YouTube live about stock as always. If you've ever watched me uh, in the past months, I love stock and I love finance and I love how things goes around. So let's see what we have tonight. And of course, I've got no money. Unfortunately, like I said all the time, if I had money, uh, I'll be looking for a chance to my best, but yeah, I still have to wait for my uh next income. Income that I get every month, which is 25th of every month. Anyway, mm, let's go to mm, Market Beat, YahooFinance.com. And what else do we have? We have Market Beats, YahooFinance.com, Market Beats, ZaxInvestment.com. Mm. I'm going to list a lot of articles, and I'm gonna go through it. Uh, and trying to follow up with the latest trend so that I cannot get behind. Right? Investors need to fear both for dysfunctional U.S. uninvestable China. S&P 500 Nasdaq try for gains as though Dow slumps. Stock future rise before December jobs report. Apple Tim Cook paid over 1,400 times the average worker in 2021. It looks like it's an interesting story. And what else do we have? I'm 68. My husband is terminally ill, and his $3 million estate will go to his son. I want to spend the rest of my days traveling. Will I have? Not really my interest. GameStop soars 30% after hours on NFT plunge. Crypto scams hacks cost investors to $14 billion in 2021. Egg crashing stocks you may own are already in serious trouble. Strong insider buying could indicate a bottom in industry stocks. 3 beaten down Warren Buffett stocks poised to pop in 2022. If you're nervous about all-time highs, these bargains are perfect for. Bitcoin will see its dot-com moment over next year or two, analysts. Dot-com moment? Okay. Goldman Sachs predicts over 60% rally for these three stocks. Jim Cramer, ignore Tesla and Apple stock for massive returns in tech, says UBS. Look here and said Barclays, like these three dividend stocks to beat the S&P 500 in 2022. If you're looking for passive income in the new year, this cash cow value stock strategy can fatten your portfolio even if you fear the Fed. Novavax stock could hit $315, says analyst. Three strong buy stocks under $10 with high growth potential. Bitcoin tanked after the Fat minutes were released. Here's why. Block stock hits new 52-week low, down 26% since Square rebrand. Okay, let's read through articles. Okay. It's because I read some of the articles last night. Some of articles looks really familiar, and since I already went through it, uh, I'm like filtering and now I'm come up with like couple of like only 10 articles or so. Anyway, Apple's Tim Cook paid over 1,400 times the average worker in 2021. Apple and Bosch Tim Cook's pay in 2021 was 1,447 times that of the average employee at the tech giant. A filing on Thursday showed, fueled by stock awards that helped him earn a total of nearly $100 million. The iPhone maker has benefited from strong demand for its products and services over the past 2 years, as consumers working from home shell out on upgrades. Apple revenue rose over 30% to $365.82 billion for its fiscal 2021. That boosted its shares to briefly crush $3 trillion in market capitalization this year. Cook, whose salary remained at $3 million, received $82.3 million in stock awards. In total, he received $98.7 million, compared with $14.8 million in 2020. Cook took charge in August 2011 after the company's founder Steve Jobs stepped down months before his demise. On and on and on. Not really interesting story. Let's see what we have here. GameStop stock surged as much as 30% in after hours after report that the video game retailer is launching a marketplace for non-fungible tokens. A move which had been telegraphed last year. GameStop is also reportedly creating partnerships with two crypto companies to share technology and co-invest in the development of games that use blockchain and NFT technology, as well as other NFT related projects. According to people familiar with the plans who spoke to the Wall Street Journal, last year's CEO Matt Floron gave a teaser about plans involving non-fungible tokens in crypto. We've also been exploring emerging opportunities in blockchain, NFTs, and Web 3.0 gaming. Months ago, internet sleuths had noticed company job descriptions which included NFT and Web 3.0. The video game retailer also has a link on the GameStop URL soliciting creators for an NFT marketplace. GameStop has been a meme stock favorite among retailer investors. Over the last year, it was the third most searched ticker in all of 2021. Behind Tesla and AMC, shares of AMC, another meme darling, were also up more than 10% in after hours. Okay, I'll be right back because of certain things that I really, really, really have to do, but I'll be back in 1 minute, okay? Let's see. GameStop is undergoing a turnaround plan under Chairman Ryan Cohen, the co-founder of e-commerce platform Chewy. Cohen, known as Papa Cohen by the retailer trader crowd, has been hush-hush about his strategy. We're trying to do something that nobody in the retail space has ever done, Cohen said at the company's annual meeting in June of last year. GameStop went through a C-suite overhaul over the summer, with Amazon veterans Matt Furlong appointed as CEO and Mike Reporco as CFO. Okay, what I can see here is that the main point in this article is about how a GameStop, the company, how they are planning to have a relationship with like token related thing and NFT technology. So how they are going to have that technology and how they're going to use that blockchain and have that technology into practice is their major interest. That's why stock of its company went up by 30%, which is a huge because like these days most of stock price went down by like 10% or so. Just last night I saw that like all the color up on the screen were all reddish, but then now it's saying GameStop, the game company, went up by 30%. Big comparison, right? So data crypto scams has cost investors $14 billion in 2021. Soaring retail and institutional interest in cryptocurrency last year also led to a boom in criminal activity that cost investors billions. By absolute numbers, crime is still growing, but the ecosystem is becoming safer. Of course, here are a lot of caveats to that, said Kim Grower, Canalys Director of Research. Whoever that is. None of my interest. And let's see what we have here. A crashing stocks. The surface of the S&P 500 makes market look calm, but look down just one layer, and you see some serious pain. Look down just one layer there. It's saying there's some of the companies that makes this S&P 500 go down, meaning these 800 not 800, these 8 companies make its value go down. So let's see. Of course it's needless to look at it because I mean it's only going to interrupt my decision on what to buy. But let's see what losers are staking out in the S&P 500: energy, real estate, consumer, the hardest heat stocks. Protolabs. Scanning the hardest heat stocks shows Protolabs, a maker of industrial laser equipment, as biggest losers. It's down, a bruising 82% from its 82-week high, notched on January 27 of last year. Wow, 82%. In just a year's time, the stock down nearly 6-7%. Many stocks are hurting in a bad way. Hardesty stocks, Protolabs, Tabla, Lassa Healthcare, stuff like that. Strong insider buying could indicate a bottom in district stocks. Every investor knows that the path toward profits lies in buying low and selling high. Yes, that's right. That's a basic precept of economic trading system. That's right. The trick, however, is recognizing when the stock is low enough to buy in. Yes, the prime moment to buy is when the stock hits bottom. That will maximize returns when the share price starts to rise again. There are a multitude of possible clues investors can use to find the price bottom today. We'll be looking at insider buying trends. Insider buying trends, okay? Interesting article. Uh, Insiders, the corporate officers, board members, and others, no, don't just manage the companies. They know the details. Legally, they are not supposed to trade. Their knowledge or to blatantly trade on it, and disclosure rules by government regulators help to keep the insiders honest. Their honest stock transactions, however, can be highly informative. These are the people with the deepest knowledge of particular stock. So when they buy or sell, especially in bulk, take notes. As George Muzia, a former market advisor to George Soros, recently commented after a career studying and investing in insider trades. Insiders are basically value investors. They buy into price weakness. So let's put this into practice. We've used the Insider's Hot Stocks tool at TipRanks to find stocks with recent informative insider buys, and we further sorted those to find trees whose share price is beaten down. Let's take a close look. Mm. Uh, I skipped it because it was an article that I read last night. Uh, I briefly went through three companies that they had listed. Uh, Bitcoin will see its dot-com moment over the next year or two. Charge technician. It's been a bad start of the year. Yes, that's right. For Bitcoin, and 2022 could bring in a bit more pain. Bit more pain. Okay, more pain will become okay. While some bulls continue to forecast $100,000, one strategist doesn't see that happening this year or next. Long term, I love cryptocurrency. I love Bitcoin, but the charts, and I'm a technician, are just not showing that. Gareth Soroway, president and CFO in the MoneyStocks.com, told Yahoo Finance Live expert, okay, Bitcoin for me has a nasty head and shoulders pattern of it. Believe it or not, in early 2022 or early 2023, you could see a movie move down sub $20,000 in Bitcoin. He added, "We've seen Bitcoin hovering between 52,000 and 46,000 for the last month, and it keeps hitting on that 46,000 level. So on a technician basis, if you break below that 46,000, you are going to see downside to about 42,000, the low from early November." Hmm. The digital coin broke a key support level on Wednesday following the latest FOMC minutes. Hmm. Okay. Following the latest FOMC minutes, which highlighted a more hawkish discussion among Fed officials than what markets had anticipated. Hmm. Which highlighted a more hawkish discussion among Fed officials than what market had anticipated. Then Soloway highlights another pattern. While the Dow and S&P 500 saw a Santa Claus rally coming into the new year, Bitcoin has continued to falter in the last month. It's now more than 35% off its all-time high levels from November. There is some little disconnect with cryptocurrency as a riskier asset, and I do worry that it, including Ethereum, will start to see further downsides. That's all the way. You look 5 years out, Bitcoin is easily $100,000, maybe even $250,000. But for me, I'm looking at the average in the system, including the stock market. That's all the way. Okay. Ignore Tesla and Apple. Stocks for massive returns in tech, says UBS. Look here instead. JP Morgan Chase. Mm, 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 mm. Well, let's look at the stock of Novavax. The last time I looked at this value of this company, uh back then it looked like it was increasing rapidly its value, but uh I don't know what's up with this company um today or like yesterday because I didn't look it up. uh let's see what he says here. Novavax shares have been volatile recently. Okay, it's been volatile recently too, maybe probably because of FOMC. um News the EUA filling what the FDA for its COVID-19 vaccine MVX has been further delayed. The company only submitted data concerning the manufacturing processes, suggesting the EUA filling is still a way off. Has not helped matters. However, B. Riley analyst Marky Mantani notes that the fact the final data package has been submitted and it includes Serum Institute of India generated CMC data that only recently formed the backbone for the WHO and EMA approvals de-risk the EUA. Throws in the EUA granted in India, and the analyst believes the investors have a compelling opportunity to accumulate additional shares or build a fresh position as the investor expectation resets on the critical role. uh, the sales opportunity for Novavax in the US and the EU is core to the long term thesis, but Mantani thinks that this might be getting overlooked by a couple of unwarranted concerns. One which perceives the easily transmissible yet relatively tame Omicron variant serving as a universal, no constant booster. Not really interesting article. Three strong buy stocks under $10 with high growth potential. Okay. Wow, this is the kind of article that I've been looking for. Okay. January is starting off on something of a down note. Stocks have declined the year's first few trading sessions, with the Nasdaq leading the fall. There's an acknowledgement of some known headwinds that may hit this year. Inflation is rising and can't be ignored, and in response, the Fed is likely to raise rates later this year. The picture isn't all bad. Francis Gannon, a chief investment officer from Royce Investment Partners, sees a bright spot emerging from the current environment. The effects of inflation, we're going to have volatility around the taper, but in the same token, small caps are cheap on a relative basis, and that's the opportunity here. Gannon points out that small cap stocks are entering the year with sound fundamentals. Okay, small cap stocks. Oh. Even though they have underperformed in recent months, I think part of the opportunity here with small caps is the fact that they haven't done as well as some of the other asset classes. Hmm. Small caps today are about 8% below their most recent high, and yet fundamentals for many of the businesses continue to improve. Gannon added, at least some of Wall Street analysts would agree, as they've been picking small cap stocks as potential gainers with high growth potential in the year ahead. We've used the tip range database to pull up the latest data on three of those small cap picks. These are strong buy equities with upside potential starting at 70%, rising from their market caps between $300 and $600 million, and they all have share price below $10. Okay. Uh, Kayla. First up is Kayla, a cloud computing company in the communications solution niche. The company offers a omni-channel business communications through a proprietary platform, which customers can use through the popular SaaS model, buying subscription for the service. Kila platform gives access to services such as SMS, chatbot, voice calling, and even WhatsApp. Though through mobile app and desktop services, the company counts names like Uber, Hyundai, and Flipkart among its customer base. While Kilo shares have not fared well this past year, with the price declining 53% from its March 2021 peak of $20. The company has been posting growth at both the top and bottom lines. In revenue, quarter three was a record quarter. Okay, even better, the company raised its forward guidance for quarter four and the full year 2021. We believe all geographies are performing well, and Kayla is seeing the seasonal tailwind during the holiday period so far. The India region is on fire, and Kayla sells to 17 new unicorns treated in India this year. Cantaloupe. Okay, let's type this up on Yahoo Finance and see its real value. Here it says they are small cap stock, and some of the experts say its potential is huge, but it's still small, and you never know, right? At least I'm going to. Hmm. It's been really volatile, but I'm gonna add this to my accounts and see ups and downs so that I can look for its chance, right? Okay. Hmm. 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 I'll be right back. Because there's something that I really need to do. Okay. Hmm. I'll be right back. Okay, now it's added to my watch list, and mm, Cantaloupe. Next small cap stock we'll look at. Cantaloupe is heavily involved in retail, but in retail of the future. We all know that the way we shop is evolving. From the debut of credit cards in the 1950s to debit cards in the 90s to electronic payments in this past decade, we've seen the slow pullback in cash transactions in favor of electronic payment modes. Yes, that's right. Cantaloupe provides operational and payment platforms, both software and hardware, for the next development of unattended retail kiosk. These are hardly new per se. Vending machines have been around for the better part of a century, but Cantaloupe's tech is bringing them to another level. Kiosk Company. The company's products include e-port devices for cashless payment, software to track sales, analyze sales data, automate services, and coordinate product delivery. The services needed to maintain and optimize the business. The company's fingerprint can be found in a wide range of industries, from amusement and entertainment to hospitality to retail and quick serve restaurants to vehicle services. These are solutions available for customer engagement, payment processing, warehousing, even office coffee services. Cantaloupe services are at the center of an evolution in traditional vending machines to cashless, unattended retail. Okay. Services are at the center of an evolution in traditional vending machines to cashless, unattended retail. Okay, Cantaloupe. Hmm. The It reported its fiscal first quarter 22 reserves this past November. And while the business model was strong, the quarter disappointed at the top and bottom lines. Total revenue came in at $45.8 million. This was up from $36.8 million in the previous quarter, but just a shade under the analyst estimates. We do believe Cantaloupe represents the top player in a relatively small but growing slice of the electronic payment markets and continued evolution of management's product offerings. We see that the stock being an outperformer, particularly as Coach became available to buy electronically wherever the consumer might be post pandemic, Salton noted. These comments back up Sutton's buy rating and $15 price target, which implies an upside of 83% in the next 12 months. Okay, and what else we have? The last one we have is Blade Air Mobility. The third stock on our list leaves an up and coming niche quite literally. Blade Air Mobility is an urban air transit company offering flexibility in scheduling multimodal commuter travel, private lounges at key locations. Blade offers short hop helicopter flights in urban core areas around New York City. Wow, wow, wow. That's awesome. Awesome. Scheduling. Oh, short hop helicopter flights in urban core areas around New York City, the northeast, and on the west coast, along with private chartered flights. The company makes the travel experience more personalized and more comfortable than commercial airlines can, albeit at price. Blade is working to expand the urban air charter niche outside the realm of the rich, but its core service remained helicopter jumps between the NYC area airports. While it is expanding, Blade has not forgotten its core area. The company is also expanding its NYC regional transit and in November announced a new Newark Manhattan Hub Culture route. Hmm. Despite the emergence of the Omicron variant, Blade has not seen any negative impact towards business to date. In fact, it's a short distance between business achieved 90% of pre-pandemic revenues. Hmm. In the September quarter, with its Blade Airport volumes reaching pre-COVID levels, we think the company is poised for multi-phase growth as it expands into new routes and pursues strategic infrastructure customer acquisitions while transitioning to electric vertical aircraft starting 2025. We continue to believe that Blade's asset-light business model with partnerships with the various OEMs de-risks its reliance on the deployment schedule of any one manufacturer. Hmm. Okay, it's an interesting company, so I'll be adding it to it. Okay. Hmm. Three low-cost equity ETFs to build a portfolio with Walgreens, Boots, Alliance slips on labor cost concerns. Helen of the Troy falls despite strong guidance. Uh, Three knockdown stocks that are likely to get off the mat in 2022. The top three upgraded stocks in 2000 you should also own in 2022. Three stocks to buy after yesterday's dip. Three compelling cyclical stocks to buy now. Two stocks sector to invest in for 2022. Mm. These stocks disappointed investors but still have trends on their side. Okay. DocuSign, indeed. Uh, I spent a lot of money on the company name, the DocuSign, and every article also says, "Oh, DocuSign is the one that you have to put money in." So I'm really glad because I feel like I'm on the same level with the authors of this article. So in fairness, until the last month of the year, DocuSign was having another great year. Hmm. One concern the analysts have is that DocuSign's growth is not sustainable. So even though the company beat on both earnings and revenue, it wasn't enough to overcome concerns of slower growth in the year ahead. It's okay. I'll be just sticking to it for 5 years or so. But there are two things opportunist investors should keep in mind. First, DocuSign is still retaining its customer base. And that's important because some analysts believe the company's e-signature services do not have a wide enough moat to stand out from the competition. Hmm. Teladoc Health. Unlike DocuSign, Teladoc Health was clearly a pandemic winner. The company was growing revenue at a steady pace prior to the pandemic. However, when patients were literally unable to visit their physicians in person, Teladoc saw strong revenue growth. But the company is not yet profitable, and investors are concerned about the company's ability to continue its rate of revenue growth. However, for investors who are willing to take a step back, uh, the fundamental business cases for Teladoc Health remain strong. First, the idea of video conferencing with your physician is not necessarily unwelcome, just uncommon. Yes, wow, to the point. For sure, it's not a solution that fits, every situation, but it can be an efficient, cost-effective option for many patients, particularly those with chronic conditions. And that means that health insurers will strongly support Teladoc's business model. Okay. One of the drags on earnings was the company's acquisition of Livongo Health. However, Livongo's expertise in artificial intelligence will put another tool in the physician's toolbox in terms of helping patients manage their personal health. Hmm. Skills went public in May 2020, and by the end of 2020, Skills stock had doubled. Okay. The mobile game platform operator was part of the meme stock movement and swore to over $40 a share in early February. Hmm. But that seems like ancient history to investors. Uh, is trading below the psychologically important $10 level, and analysts will point to the fact that this is still a young company that is currently burning through more money than it's bringing in. Hmm. That was a risky many investors were willing to take in the first part of the year, but not so much today. However, if you have a long-term time frame, Skills as an intriguing business model, the company is committed to giving game developers a platform to launch their content. The Skills claims that its platform enables developers to monetize their content 5 times better than relying on ads or in-app purchases. And the fact that the Skills platform hosts and operates gaming tournaments, promotes social competition with up to 40 million users on the platform at a time. Mm. The top three upgraded stocks in 2021. Top three upgraded stocks. Palo Alto Networks is the most upgraded stocks of 2021. Most upgrade stock of 2001 with 96 upgrades from 31 analysts. Surprisingly, the consensus sentiment is still only a weak buy, but there are two trends to consider. The first is that sentiment has been improving over the past year, and the second is the MarketBeat.com consensus price target. Hmm. Nvidia is the most upgraded cheap stock, uh, needless to say. Hmm. Saying quite a lot, the chip sector is on fire. Yeah, that's right. Nvidia is at the heart of some key trends, including graphics, data center, gaming, and to a last degree, cryptocurrency. Nvidia received 95 upgrades and target increases last year from 32 analysts, putting the MarketBeat.com consensus sentiment at a firm buy. Uh, Yesterday's deep Salesforce Adobe, Meta Platforms, uh, Oracle Corporation, Caterpillar Inc., JP Morgan Chase, Caterpillar Inc. I know most of the time I'm like really interested in company that deals with technology. Things like clouding, IoT, semiconductor, that kind of things. Uh because of the job that I do, like in my entire life, like I've had not many, but like a couple of jobs, but it's all been like computer thingy or like hardware and technology. So whenever I look at the companies that has like their own technology and has like uh revolutionary uh stuff, that I'm like, oh, that's the one that I have to stick to and put the money in. I don't know why I said like that, but anyway, Caterpillar Inc. This company, the stock has been an underperformer for several months now. But investors shouldn't write off the heavy equipment manufacturer upside in 2022. Caterpillar could benefit from an increase in construction activity next year thanks to infrastructure bill. Healthcare. Hmm. Let's dive in further and actually identify a handful of utility companies to consider investing in this year. Alexan, Entergy, and Centerpoint Energy. Check out the small cap chip innovator. What? Oh, okay. Only small caps in the green as of Thursday close. Top classic value stocks for start 2022. Uh, Four stocks worth a look, from a prospering best value stocks to buy to commercial printing stocks to watch. Smart Global Holdings. Hmm. A small cap chip innovator with large cap ambitions. Is the under the radar semiconductor stock you've been looking for, with its broadening portfolio of cutting edge chips poised to take flight in the commencing technological renaissance. SGH is roaring out of the shadows with an ambitious growth strategy that won't remain under the investor radars for much longer. New CEO Mark Adams is transforming this once complacent memory focused legacy tech business into a motivated leader in niche innovations. The company released a record quarterly report at the start of 2022, blowing analyst estimates out the water, raising forward guidance. However, SGH's undiscovered attributes appear to have both positive and negative consequences, which we saw in its post earnings capitulation. This drop off is a technical retreat catalyzed by the overbought RSI levels it had reached in recent weeks. Hmm. Hmm. Smart Global Holdings. Okay. No. Hmm. Okay. Let me wrap this up tonight. Uh, and I'll be looking at you tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Hmm. Okay. Bye bye.